Welcome to Blueprint Radio. I'm your host, Martin Williams. Here we help you create a blueprint for your life. So let's build. And welcome to Blueprint Radio. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast with an S, or wherever you're listening to this podcast right now. So today's topic is stop waiting to live your life. So there's a scripture in the Bible that says hope deferred makes the heart sick. And I think a lot of people are emotionally and in some cases, physically sick because they've put off their dreams to some future date. This is not the way to live. If you have a dream, you have to start living it now, even if it's part-time. One of the reasons I wanted to talk about this is because I work full-time, and I'm not ashamed to share that or admit that, because I think we're all moving in a progression. We're all moving towards something, right? I'm moving towards full-time entrepreneurship. I'm moving towards making this my full-time endeavor. But, sometimes it doesn't happen overnight for a variety of reasons. But I wanted to talk about it because in the past week, the 2 weeks, it's been rough for me. It's been really difficult because my job can be very demanding. And after a full day, I've been wiped out. I've been exhausted and exhausted to the point that I would just sit on the couch and, my wife would be talking to me and, I'm listening, but you know how you're tired and you're listening and you want to be present for someone, but in actuality, you really just want to go to sleep. That's kind of where I was. And, I just was not feeling myself, and I really couldn't understand, why am I feeling like this? And really where it came clear for me was that I don't really like my job. And I know that my job is a blessing in a lot of ways because it enables me to take care of my family, enables me to live a good life, and enables me to do a lot of things that I want to do. But it's not my passion. And perhaps you can relate. Perhaps you can relate to having to work a job. And when I say having to work a job, I use that term loosely because at the end of the day, we're all making choices. But the easiest choice for many of us to make is to continue to work a job that we may not be passionate about, that we may not even like. What do you do when you have this dream that's been sitting on your heart for years, but you haven't done anything with it? And what happens with a lot of people is that they put that dream into a far off date. They say, one day I'll be able to do that. One day I'll be able to travel the world. One day I'll be able to, make candles or make cakes or, be an influencer or be a designer or talk about sports all day or whatever your dream is. And that's a mistake. It's a mistake to put your dreams off into a far off date because nothing's promised to any of us. Tomorrow's not promised to any of us. And I know that might be a grim way of putting it, but it's the truth. And moreover than that, more so, I should say, is that you'll never, for most people, you won't have as much energy as you have right now, right? As we get older, our energy for most people dissipates. You don't have as much energy at 40 as you did at 20. You don't have as much energy at 60 as you did at 40. Now, I've met some energetic 60-year-olds, right? But relatively speaking, you'll never have as much energy as you do right now. And you may have constraints on your life. You may have a family like I do. You may have a larger family than I do. You may have multiple jobs that you're going to. You may have multiple, obstacles that you have to overcome in order to do the thing that you want to do. But my message is the same no matter where you are. Whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 30 years old, whether you're 40 years old, whether you're, my age, I'm 46, no matter who you are, start now. Start right now. Stop waiting. Stop waiting to live your dreams. Stop putting your dreams off. If you want to be an influencer, start being an influencer. All it takes is a free IG account and a phone, which most of you, if not all of you, have, and you start recording and you start posting about things that you care about. And you position yourself as someone who's an influencer. You don't need 100,000 followers to be an influencer. There are people who make really good money with just 3,000 followers, but they're focused and they're consistent. If you want to be a designer, start designing. When you get off work, start designing, or maybe you have to design before work because when you get off work, you're tired. I get it, right? But start designing whatever it is you're trying to design, whether it's furniture or clothes or whatever it is. If you want to be a podcaster, do you know that most podcasters have full-time jobs? At least the ones that I've come across, right? I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, and it seems to be 1,000 podcasts just on Philadelphia Eagles. I'm not exaggerating. It really seems like there's a lot of podcasts surrounding that one team. But virtually all of them work every day because the bills have to be paid. And until you have sponsors that can pay for the show, you have to work. And that's okay. Having a job is not a curse. It's not a bad thing, right? But what are you doing in the meantime? Your company owns your time, right? You've chosen to give your company your time from 9 to 5 or from 8 to 5 or whenever you work, right? You've chosen to give your company that time. But what are you doing from 5 in the evening to 9 the next day? Obviously, you got to sleep some, right? You can't be getting 2 hours of sleep every night. That'll catch up with you really fast and usually at the wrong time. But what are you doing between 5 in the evening and 9 in the morning? Okay. Some of you might be, like I said, you might have different constraints on your life. You might be taking care of someone. You might be a caregiver. You might have to, you might have constraints on your time that the average person doesn't. But can you squeeze out an hour to work on your dream? I would say that most people can. If you just squeeze out 1 hour, where would you be after a year? You'd be further along than if you did nothing. And I think far too many people feel like it's all or nothing. We've got to stop thinking like that. We've got to stop thinking, well, if I can't have 8 hours a day to work on my dream, then I can't work on my dream. That's nonsense. If you only have an hour a day, then use that hour to work on your dream. But don't let your dream die waiting for a time that may never come. Waiting for an opportunity that may never show up, because the opportunity is today. It's never been easier to make money online than it is right now. Do you know how many people wish they could have been alive at this time, where you can go online and connect with someone halfway across the world? I do business with a web designer. He's based in Pakistan. I've never been to Pakistan, never been anywhere near Pakistan, but, he does great work, and, I've been working with him, and, it's been working out great. But that's the power of the time that we're living in. You can press a button and connect with someone halfway across the world. And if you can connect with them, then you can sell something to them. You can show them something that they might want to buy or be a part of. So what I'm telling you here as I sign off here, stop waiting to live your life. Stop waiting to live your dream. Start living your dream right now. The dream that you've had for all this time, start living that dream now. Don't wait. Stop waiting. Start living. And hopefully, that helps you. Hopefully that blessed you in some way. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to Blueprint Radio. For more information on Martin Williams coaching and products, please go to guidedexpressions.com or visit me on Facebook as well as Instagram.